Let nature take its course by attracting beneficial bugs to eat up the pests in your garden and devour your veggies. Companion planting is a technique to attract pollinators and repel pests by planting herbs, alums, marigolds, and nasturtiums closely interplanted among your veggies. No poison is safe. You can deter pests and critters using organic gardening techniques. Growing your food in organic raised bed gardens in a complex biological community creates conditions that make pest problems minimal. Pesticides kill the beneficial insects like all kinds of bees, butterflies, moths, and beetles that pollinate the flowers for fruit and veggies to grow. Beneficial insects like ladybugs and praying mantises who eat a huge numbers of aphids that could destroy the garden are killed by these pesticides along with the bad bugs who have recently evolved into superbugs after building immunity to the poisonous chemicals. Plants have natural defenses and release chemicals into the air and send messages through their roots and symbiotic mycorrhizal organisms that attract beneficial insects. Neighboring plants also react and release more chemicals, which are often antioxidants that are released into the fruit and are beneficial to the human diet. Planting pest resilient plants can help reduce many unwanted visitors, at the same time, attract beneficial insects and pollinators. Basil repels flies and mosquitoes. Lavender repels fleas, beetles, and moths. Marigolds are toxic to root nematoids, and their smell repels other pests. Nasturtiums trap aphids and attract bees and hummingbirds. The smell of onions and garlic helps keep pests and critters away from other veggies. Artemisia repels insects like and even small animals. Encourage beneficial insects like butterflies, bees, ladybugs, lacewings, and praying mantis to come into your garden by planting the wildflowers, native plants, and herbs that they love. The monarch butterfly only eats one species of plant, native narrow leaf milkweed. However, the colorful tropical milkweed that most nurseries sell hosts a protozoan parasite that causes the newborn caterpillar to be covered in spores unless it is cut back each winter. Tropical milkweed does not die back in the winter like native milkweed does. And so the monarchs are establishing winter breeding colonies and not migrating, increasing the odds of the monarchs becoming infected with the crippling parasite. Tropical milkweed must be cut back to 2 to 4 inches in height starting at the end of October and be pruned of all leaves during the winter. Cutting back the milkweed will also help eliminate those spores that may be present on the plant and discourage monarchs from establishing winter breeding colonies. Pollinators also like the flowers on organic strawberries, herbs, veggies, nuts, and fruits, where they can find nesting materials, shade, and food for hosting caterpillars. The passion flower vine has gorgeous flowers and edible fruit that the caterpillars enjoy. Herbs like dill, fennel, sage, parsley, marjoram, mint, thyme, borage, and lemon balm are also wonderful nectar sources for pollinators. Bees love squash blossoms and the flowers on Jerusalem artichokes. If you have chosen a metal stock tank, you can plant lavender, rosemary, or native plants around the outside of your metal raised bed to help keep the metal cool in the summer. When you create a habitat for beneficial insects, you can attract garden partners to pollinate your crops and eat those undesirable pests. Wildflowers, buzzing bees, and fluttering butterflies makes the garden a happy place to be. You can plant a meadow instead of the lawn. Find a spot to plant a sunny zone of favorite bright colored native flowers, herbs, and berries for fragrance, nectar, and food to attract a multitude of bees, butterflies, and other pollinators in your yard. Even in poor soil, you can plant native plants, which are adapted to your local soils and climate and are the best source of nectar and pollen for native pollinators. When you choose hardy plants that are native to your area, they will grow easily with little effort on your part. Create conditions that make pest problems minimal by welcoming a complex biological community in your organic garden. Native plants are a good choice as they are attractive and do not need near as much water as lawns. They have adapted to their environment, do not need fertilizers, and can tolerate drought, poor soil, and floods, and therefore take less maintenance. Native wildflowers provide that sugary nectar, fragrant resins, and vitamin rich fats to attract bees and other insects to spread their pollen. You can plant fruit trees, berry bushes, and grapevines in the landscape around your house. Herbs and perennial veggies like artichokes, collard trees, and asparagus can be planted with pathways among the native plants for an attractive, easy to maintain front yard landscape. You can mulch all the landscape beds with compost around the house and reduce the water runoff, loss of soil, and erosion as much as 80%. Planting fruit trees near your house can reduce your heating and cooling needs and their carbon emissions as much as 40%. Fill a shallow bowl with sand, mud, and rocks with water and place it among the flowers for the butterflies and bees to sip mineralized water and sunbathe. Bouquets of bright flowers are nature's pick-me-ups with blooms to bring a smile to you every day. To have a sustainable organic garden, you need to fill your raised bed with that rich organic soil, mulch and compost, build a wire fence around the garden to keep out critters, and plant organic varieties that do well in your local conditions. Many pest and disease problems are solved simply by interplanting veggies, herbs, and flowers in your raised bed garden. A floating row cover is a garden fabric or translucent blanket that allows air, water, and sun to pass through the material as it protects your crops from insect damage or frost and increases their growth. There are several types of fabrics. Lightweight summer fabric that defends your plants against birds and insects, like cabbage moss. All-purpose fabric that keeps in the heat, keeps the soil moist, and protects the plants from frost, wind, and insects. And then a tougher fabric for very cold climates. In hot weather, When the plants begin to flower, remove the fabric to release the trapped heat and to allow the pollinators to access them. Row covers, along with mulching with compost, can stretch your growing season in the fall and winter and provide insulated tunnels over your raised beds to keep in the heat and keep out the pests. Covering your garden with row covers protects your food garden from the weather, insects, and critters. Reusable row covers are a great way for you to protect your just planted early spring or fall veggie garden, keeping the soil moist and the vulnerable seedlings protected. To create a rigid row cover, use PVC pipes and bend them over your garden bed. Attach the row cover with stakes in the ground and to the pipes with clips. You can also use metal or wood frames. Keeping the soil healthy by continually adding compost and mulch and practicing crop rotation each season goes a long way to keep the plants healthy and bug resistant. Crop rotation, like planting new annuals every season, helps to prevent soil depletion and the persistence of pests and diseases specific to certain plants. Do not use poison. No poison is safe. Rodents eat the poison and then are eaten by wildlife predators such as owls, hawks, mountain lions, bobcats, and coyotes who are indirectly poisoned. Roaming cats and dogs may even digest the poison directly. Build an owl house to encourage the best rodent catcher and control rodents naturally. Use live traps with peanut butter instead of an exterminator. Bats consume massive numbers of mosquitoes. You can hand pick off slugs and snails and tomato hornworm caterpillars and beetles from your plants early in the morning or in the evening when it's cool. Or use a blast of water from the hose to wash away bugs. Plant native shrubs and berries to encourage birds who will eat hundreds of pests. If you have room, you can create a pond to bring in lots of garden helpers like dragonflies, frogs, and toads who will eat ants, cockroaches, and other insects. Ponds are a delight in the landscape, holding the water on the land and attracting wildlife. Your family dog or cat can also be a deterrent for critters. Installing motion sensor lights to frighten away those nocturnal critters can also be effective. You can put a gritty barrier like sand or gravel or coffee grinds around veggies to make it difficult for slugs and snails. Instead of using harmful chemicals that poison the food, the insects, and the wildlife, you can provide habitats for beneficial insects, birds, and critters. You can use soil testers in the morning to give you helpful readings such as pH, moisture content, and soil temperature to keep your soil healthy. Pests and diseases are symptoms of soil imbalance. As plants grown in soils brimming with microbial activity are far less susceptible. Time your planting to bypass bugs. Use row covers and create a balanced ecosystem. For tasty results, get your seeds and plants in the ground at their most productive times for your location. Organic gardeners can spray a natural, easy to make organic bug spray on any edible garden plants that show evidence of bug damage and not harm the environment. Commercial chemical sprays kill the bees, butterflies, and other pollinators needed to produce crops. These toxic, long-lasting chemicals have harmed our environment, contaminated our rivers and drinking water, depleted the soil, and made people sick. This organic spray won't hurt the plants, but it will repel crawling, chewing, and flying insects that dislike the smell or taste of the spray. Put 2 quarts of water in a saucepan. Add 3 crushed cloves of garlic and 6 hot peppers and boil for 5 minutes. Let steep overnight. Strain through a cheesecloth, pour into a plastic spray bottle, and add a teaspoon of pure soap, like Dr. Bronner's Castile soap. Squirt that onto any infested plants. Use this homemade bug spray to protect your veggie garden and respray to keep those grasshoppers away from your salad greens. To protect your fruit trees, you can use a blast of water from your hose or spray the tree with water and Dr. Bronner's Castile soap to wash away any bugs. To protect your salad greens from the heat in the summer and to establish new fall seedlings, you can remove the row cloth and use a shade netting on your PVC pipes. When veggies and fruits appear, you can attach bird netting or wire mesh fabric to the PVC pipes to protect the fruit and veggies from birds and critters eager to harvest them. The bird netting creates a barrier, making it more difficult for the pests to reach the plants. Individual wire mesh covers are also available at your hardware store. To block rodents from your fruit trees, place the trees away from the fences. Attach the metal collar and remove stakes and other accesses to the tree. Birds also love that sweet, juicy fruit, and so you can cover your fruit trees with bird netting when the little fruit buds appear. You can also put small paper bags over the ripening fruits. If you have an abundance of critters in your area, you can create wire cages to protect your organic food garden. Perhaps the best repellent for gophers, rats, and mice is installing wire mesh under and around your raised bed. You can also cover young seedlings with wire baskets and hang wind chimes to keep away birds, insects, and critters. Don't leave your garden bed empty. Plant easy to grow organic cover crops and create healthy soil. Cover crops like red clover, buckwheat, fava beans, daikon radish, and peas revitalize the soil with natural nitrates. They suppress weeds, improve water retention, discourage pests and diseases, reduce soil compaction, feed the microbials in the soil, and attract beneficial insects to your veggie garden. Instead of using harmful chemicals that poison the food, the insects, and the wildlife, practice pest prevention, observation, and good sanitation. And then you create a balanced ecosystem. You will feel like a perfective parent. Each morning, start your day looking forward to a delightful visit to your organic food garden. Blossom a good mood. Nature has long been credited with the rejuvenation of body and spirit. Find the joy of daily small delights, delicious food, as well as mystical insights into nature. There is a continual discovery among the plants in your garden as they flourish and bloom. Every day there are amazing transformations and surprises waiting for you. As you daily visit your garden and feel the rich organic soil in your hands, you become grounded and peaceful, feeling a deep connection to the earth. A home garden is a vital link between humans and the earth, as the molecules in a tomato from your garden become the molecules in your body when you eat it. In the garden, you can enter in and forget the whole world, contemplating the circle of life, the flow of energy through all living beings, and the connection to what is alive on the planet. What's next for you? Please share your experience and comment below. Follow the Organic Garden website, our Facebook page, and Instagram account where I post every day. See you soon.